All right, take 7, which is a number that I like anyway, and welcome back to Hockey Bones. It's been a while, and there are a couple of things I want to do with this video. The first one, and it's something that I've already done in some form or other, but I think that once I do it again, hopefully you'll see why. I've already done a number of videos where I've shown the teams and players for the 1968 season, but I'm going to kind of do that here as well once more, and also because I've not played the game Hockey Bones in a while, I want to sort of go through some slow, hopefully instructional exhibition play to sort of get myself back into playing shape, I guess, before I do any games that actually count towards the project. So I'm not going to play a full game with any of the 6 teams. I think what I will do is just kind of put a couple of teams down, play through it for a little while, and then if there's something like a goal or maybe a penalty or injury or after maybe somebody plays stoppages or whatever, I might switch out the teams. I've done similar actually just prior to other projects as I was getting warmed up and ready to do them, and I mean, I guess it goes without saying it's something that I kind of recommend, kind of advocate if you're looking to just roll or play, flip or roll or play your way back into playing shape for a project. Maybe do something that's kind of exhibition-y where you just throw a few teams down and kind of go back and forth. And so this is going to be very informal, very unofficial, but again, hopefully it will be not without its instructive moments. And I get to show off what I finally put the finishing touches, I guess, on for the 68 project. And I will be referring to this a time or two again because, if you're new to Hockey Bones, if you've not played it for a while and you're trying to learn it, well, I'm also a little rusty actually, so I might refer to this here a time or 3. I have a couple of rinks here. This one is the official one that you can actually get. I believe you can get this one through drive-through cards, and so I will link in the description to this video where you can get this rink. And the second page, it comes as a 2-page PDF, I believe, and so this one here I had printed out as well. So I have this one, and then of course I have this is just a personal custom one that I did a while back, so I wanted the original 6 logos as well. So, and these are all the 1968 actually original 6 logos, and of course you have the Hockey Bones timekeeper here, which I thought I had reprinted. Maybe I've printed it. Actually, no, they were busy at the shop that day. I was going to get a new print and new coat of this one, but I'll do a new laminated copy of this one. I can do that another time before long. But anyway, so yeah, I guess, I mean, the first, going in alphabetical order here, the first couple of teams for the 1968 season, you had the Boston Bruins and the Chicago Blackhawks. So might as well take out those 2 teams and show them off first and then get to Detroit and some other teams. I'm not going to keep score or anything like that. It's going to be very informal. So let's just say, for convenience sake, that Boston is on the road and Chicago is at home. And so, and again, this won't be exact setup. I don't know. Maybe I'll slide this across. Again, this is where I experiment. Perhaps I could even do some of this off camera. I will actually do some more off camera to supplement this, but I thought, again, it's been a while, not only for playing this but actually for making a video, and so I just thought I'd turn on the camera and play around with some things. And so as you can see there, I have stickers placed on the players, which actually, as they're not all supposed to be like that. That's from me using what's probably designed primarily to be a paper and cardstock line cutter, and I'm using it for all kinds of other things, including plastic. I actually had the cards already in the plastic and cut them out a little earlier. So again, that's some of the stuff I've been doing just to sort of finalize getting ready for this. So the Boston Bruins, their top line there are small familiar names there for the Boston Bruins, and fans of the team being Busick, Esposito, and Ken Hodge there in line 1. Line 2 is Derek Sanderson, but Derek Sanderson's wings, Ted Hampson, which they got from expansion from the Oakland Seals. Actually, a couple of Seals on either side there of Derek Sanderson. These are a little different than the rosters, the depth charts of sorts that I posted on Delphi. I went back through the cards today, had a closer look at them, and of course just tried to coach and assemble lineups equally hard for all 6 of these teams. And again, because this won't actually count toward anything, this will also sort of triple as an opportunity for me to roll the dice and just see, chemistry or whatever. If cards and dice can have such a thing, I think they can. And then maybe go from there and make some decisions for the lineup. So the third line here for Boston, a bit more defensive, and I did this for basically all the teams. You have Bob Dillabow, Yeah, I was thinking earlier, actually, Al Red Sox fan playing with the good now, and it looks like good enough, and is good now good enough. Anyway, Ray Cullen in center, at center there, and then Ed Westfall on, well, right wing, although he can also double as a defenseman. And I think Doug Favell probably will supersede Cheevers. I think if this were real, and hypothetically, again, if this were in May 1968 or whatever, Doug Favell, given the season that he had, could end up surpassing Cheevers and being Boston's starter. Another thing that I wanted to do, but the print shop was closed today by the time that I got out and got to it, so it just doubled as a little exercise walk for me, was like with my '05 Fictional 6 project, I want to get a couple of copies printed of each goaltender so that when I change the defense again, this will show Favell and Favell again. And I do have some extra stickers left over as well for each of the teams, so I can always get more stickers if need be. I will allow the possibility of trades. Again, I will also manage all 6 teams equally hard. I don't anticipate there being too many, but again, if the mood strikes me for whatever reason, if I feel like there's a need for one team or another, if one team is struggling defensively and another offensively, they could exchange some players or something like that. I will allow the possibility, although I don't think I'll do it too often, if at all. So again, this has been a little while. These here too as well, I should point out. So you can get envelopes like these over here in South Korea, in Seoul, for, I forget, like 50 of these for $1. And then these come in, I ripped them out, but they come in this this here holder or whatever, these thin plastic pockets. I guess if you're not over here, maybe it's useless to you, but if you ever see anything like this, I mean, I got these, 20 sheets of these for $1, and yes, they were all bound together, but I used the line cutter actually and cut them all out. They're a little cheaper than the other ones I was using that I got for about $7 or $8 a binder, but I actually think these thinner ones that aren't as heavy, I'm hoping that, especially in the summer here when it's really humid, hopefully the ink won't come off on the plastic on these. Or if it does, I mean, again, these are like a 1/7 or an 1/8 the cost. So, goodness, I'm going back and forth here. So Bobby Orr, Bob Bond, Ed Van Imp, and Ted Green there for the Boston Bruins. I hope I'm pronouncing all the names correctly. You have Moose Fosco, and of course, again, Al Red Sox fan earlier today was playing a game with Moose DuPont and Moose Messier in a game. It'd be nice to see all the Moose together. The Mies is that problematic English poem. I forget now the name of the author, but yeah, I'm terrible at quoting things, especially when I'm on the spot like this. Anyway, Dave Dryden this is basically the taxi squad here, the 19 through 21. I have 21 players in each roster. So Ferguson hasn't quite made the cut yet. He could figure his way into it, especially if Boston struggles. I won't hesitate to cycle Ferguson into the top 9 or at least top 11 somewhere. That is one thing, small difference that I've decided to do. Characteristic of me, I'm going all over the place now. I think I will dress 11 forwards, 5 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders. So 18 players instead of 17 like I was doing for the last Bones project. Anyway, I will timestamp this to the point where I get playing it again. Hopefully that will be instructive. Stan Mikita for Chicago, and actually I've decided to go out and reacquire Lou Angotti from Philadelphia for the Chicago Blackhawks with that pass bonus of +4 and then Bobby Hull's 44 goals. I think that's kind of a no-brainer, and then Mikita will win just about every face-off. The second line there, Red Berenson and Mike Walton and Kenny Warren. I don't know, maybe I'll slot Berenson back in line 3. This is another thing, too, for Chicago. I have, they went and acquired Don McKinney. Don McKinney, he's kind of the 10th or 11th forward. Tommy Williams as well, they were over from Boston. And Captain Pierre Pilote, he'll probably, the 3 players that I have here and behind line 3 will probably see limited ice time again, as they did, like they will at least dress as they did for the fictional 6 there. And then it's going to be these taxi squad bottom 3. In Chicago's case, it's Jim Pappen, Chicago scout, Chicago agent Mike Owens actually made this pick, Pappen for the Blackhawks, and then Bob Plager and Charlie Hodge there, and Pat Stapleton, Jill Murat, Bruce Campbell probably will win out over Denny DeJordy or Dennis DeJordy, but I don't know, should Gamble struggle out of the gate, I'm going to go, okay, what if this were real? DeJordy and or possibly Charlie Hodge will get the crease, Dale Rolfe, Bill Plager. And yeah, so I think that's going to be a pretty dynamic line up front, actually. Angotti, Mikita, and Bobby Hull. Because Angotti, again, with him, you've got the defense, but you've also, he's set up. He had 37 assists in 70 games that season, so I look forward to working with him. I might actually pull the taxi squad guys for when I begin rolling this out. And again, I wish, whoops, that's not the taxi squad for Boston. I wish I had. What am I trying to say here? I should have live streamed this actually. This is very spontaneous, but I wish that I had. What was I saying there? I wish that I had multiple goaltenders. Not multiple goaltenders, but multiple copies of each goaltender printed. So something like this, and so Hockey Bones, the way that it begins, I have a couple of charts here just off camera. I will use this marker here as a puck and 4 dice, although you really only need 3 for the face-off. Of the 4, for most rolls, not all, but for many of them, you have vertical columns like these, 1 to 6 on a player's card. And that's what you're using the blue die for. And then, why am I putting it back down immediately? These horizontal rows right here, that's where the white dice come into effect. This is the action code matrix. This is one of many things that makes Bones, in my opinion, the best damn game on the planet, best hockey game certainly on the planet. And just once you've spent time in the matrix, man, it's pretty damn unrivaled. I haven't played all hockey games, but I have played a lot of them. And it just really, really works and then some. And then this here red die is also, again, mechanically so convenient for when you're going. You can just really start flowing and flying. What this does, this is either your teammate or your opponent. It's a little different for each player for a lot of them. And it's just a great way to keep the game going and to determine who the puck is going to next, whether it's your teammate or it's the opposition. And then there are exceptions down here for power play and penalty kill. Some of those exceptional moments, again, possible consultation over here, but stuff that comes up, and I've said this before so many times about Hockey Bones, 80 to 90% of the time, it's a very straightforward game. I don't anticipate a whole lot of head scratching here, but every once in a while there is, even for me, there's a little roll where I just, especially because I've not played it in some time now, where I'm just going to have to double check for whatever reason, or just, pause for a moment and just, I guess, as I said there, just give the head a scratch and find out. But anyway, so a face-off, again, how it begins, you really only need these 3 and 6, 7. And then you're looking at a chart for this one, and the chart is a page. That's it. It's a 1-page chart. You're looking at it for, I guess if you want to double check on the adjusted team defense for the center, it's there. It's convenient if you want to award an assist for a goal. And if you just want to double check, like, yes, there is a 20-page instruction manual, but sort of the gist of the 18 or 19 or 20 pages is really in this chart right here. If you want to, I know I still glance at this from time to time. Similarly for goaltenders, for shots in range and out of range, you have that right there. I guess block shots as well. I didn't even notice that. That's up and over here. And so there it is for you. And then penalty types as well, which is something else that so there you go. I've not even played it for a little while, and I've looked at this a bazillion times, and I'm still not really like seeing it for the first time, but maybe noticing it a little differently now. So it's like when you watch a great classic movie over and over, right? So sorry, I rolled a 6, 7 there because 6, and again 6. I'm checking the vertical columns here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm looking to the 7. What you do with these 2 dice is you add them together. So, and that's going to give you your 2 to 12 reading here for the horizontal rows. And so for the 7, for the 6, you see an orange LD. Well, in case you forget why it's orange, it tells you right there, orange is visitor. So that does mean that, look at this. Look who's got, oh wait, he's almost off camera. Look who's got the puck so appropriately to start this off. Based on what I have seen, and I could spend the rest of my lifetime watching hockey games and not see even a fraction of established NHL history or whatever. Based on what footage I have seen, my humble opinion, healthy Bobby Orr, the greatest damn player to ever lace up a pair of skates, and he's got the puck to start things off appropriately, even if this doesn't count for anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this timer, although I should point out as well, if you laminate it like I have done, you could actually, and I've done this in some other games, I have this in videos in the past, you just take put a little dot there or something like that, and you can even, if you don't want to wipe it or Zamboni it with a wipe after every period, you could use 3 different colors. You have 3 different colored dry erase markers. That works perfectly fine on something like that. But for the time being, I guess for simplicity's sake, I'm going to use a pawn. So Bobby Orr, we're going to get first ice action here for Bobby Orr. And that's a 5-6, and then I might have to look to the red 6 as well. So we take Bobby Orr's card. We look to the 5-6, and he's got a penalty. Okay, so after a sip and a breather there, being on the spot, brief one at that, I look here. Bobby Orr basically most of the time, if there's no letter there, then it means it's nothing special. And as it is in the NHL, most penalties at the end of the day are simply 2-minute minors. So that's what this would be, just this blank here, whatever you want to call it, a line, a minus. It's just going to be a 2-minute minor. For this, I only need the 3 again. So it comes out 3-6. As you see there, again, 3, the blue, and then 6. Actually, sorry, I apologize. Scratch that. This is simply to determine the OE, the odd even this time. And if this is a 1 or a 2, sorry, if this is a 1 or a 2, it's a delayed penalty. I had to pause there because this is something that I normally don't use in a game. But if this blue is a 1 or a 2, you can do a delayed penalty and keep playing. And I guess in that case, too, what I would do probably is hand the puck over to right wing Louis Angotti. I think, again, I will double check on that. So do not quote me on that, actually. So again, 3 and then 6. So I look here to the 6, to the odd or the even. It won't matter in a 6. It just means that Orr is going to go to the box for a pair. I think what I will do to keep things simple here, let's see here, maybe, sure, that's a Boston colored pond. So we're 24 seconds in, thereabouts, roughly, abstractly. And this is another reason why I started using the markers as well, because the magnetic pull. So Orr's in the box until about there, so we'll put Van Imp and Ted Green on there for the Boston Bruins. And I don't feel like changing anybody else, actually, so let's just let's assume another face-off. Again, actually there it would have been, there was no delay, so blow it down, we're going to have another face-off. And this is a habit, I take all 4, but I don't need to. So 4-7 there in the face-off. There it goes again. 4-7 on the draw this time. Over to the handy chart we go and we look. And this time it's LW and it's not orange. So that means the home left wing. That means Bobby Hull has it. Okay. All right. Hull on the power play. What could possibly go wrong? Let's see. So 3-9 here for Bobby Hull on the power play. 3-9 for Bobby Hull says a D6. And what I have to do is look at the defenseman, the defensive rating. So we have a defensive rating of 3 and a defensive rating of 3 and a 6. Now, conveniently, it's written in here, and let me see if I can pull it up here in the one-page chart. So even strength or power play, or shorthanded for that matter, it's a shot if greater, whoops, I'm pointing the H there, to the D, there it is, right, D2 to D9, so under which D6 falls, shot if greater than or equal to the LD plus RD defense. So it's equal to, so Bobby Hull has a shot, basically. So, and we're at 48, of course, move time, there we go. All right, so we get a shot here, 3-5 there for Hull. And I might even have to look to the red to see, and I do have a video on dice ranges. So I'm looking here at Hull. I'm kind of shocked, actually, that his power play is a 2-7, but he had 8 power play goals that season. So he was no Mike Walton or Wayne Connolly that season, evidently, for power play goals. So 3-7 not being in his range, it does mean that it is going to be a save for, I guess, Jerry Cheevers will say. And what we're going to do now is roll on Jerry Cheevers' card to see, and I like this, I like how the goalies get involved in the game this way on pretty much every shot. We're going to see here, yes, every shot. We're going to see here what happens now to the puck. So we looked at Cheevers for that. So we got a 5-6 here. So again, 5, we're checking the columns. 6, we're checking the rows. 5-6. And it's different on the more modern cards, but I'm just going to go with what I have and what I have printed right now. The C there, that means Cheevers' teammate. Had it been a C with an asterisk, like had say the roll been a 2-8, then the puck would actually go to the opposition center, but that's going to go to Phil Esposito here in the penalty kill. We shall, or wait, center's a vacant position. Okay. I play this as a face-off, actually. If it goes to a vacant position, hold on for a moment. So what I had said about delayed penalties there earlier, that I think that was pretty bang on actually. Even though again I do it a little differently, I simplify it when I'm playing. I do make the odd simplification just for speed, for time to keep things going. But all right, just my luck, I'm not finding it. But anyway, that's how I would play it here because. And the reason why the center position is vacant is because if it's a 5-on-4, then the center position is vacant. I don't have, if you go back and look at my fictional six, I actually had printed special teams for each of the teams. I'll probably do that again for this one. Again, maybe after some playing around with it, I'll work out special teams temporarily, at least for all the franchises. But for the time being, I would just assume anyway it's vacant. So let's just have another face-off. I used to say when in doubt, treat it as an interception. Maybe when in doubt, face-off. So anyway, so we are what, 48 seconds into this one. Anyway, we get a 6-8. So looking here, 6-8, 6-8, 6-8. What do we have here? Left wing power play. So I like this actually. I like that this example has come up. So normally it would go to visitor Boston, being orange. However, this PP designation is going to override it, and it means that Bobby Hull has possession again. So up to 1:12 we go, and 2-8 this time on Bobby Hull's card. And 2-8 on Bobby Hull's card is a star and asterisk there, which means a shot automatically for Hull. So we re-roll. And the shot there is a 5-7, which again is not in range. So we come over to Cheevers' card again. And I have a 5-4 here on Cheevers' card. 5-4. This is the center with an asterisk, and it's lowercase. So that will go. And I believe with the newer cards, it's they've eliminated the stars. And it's just uppercase and lowercase, basically. So anyway, it goes to Stan Mikita. And we're going to roll again. Up to 1:36 we go. And 2-9 for Mikita. So 2-9 on his card here again, still on the power play. And we see a D8. Now a D8 exceeds the 6. So it means that Mikita also has a shot on goal here. So we roll for Mikita's shot on goal and we get a 2-7. 2-7-3, because this could also come into effect. We're at Hull, the 2-7-3, that would just barely be in his range. For Stan Mikita, who himself had 40 goals that season, 212 in the power play, he had 13 power play goals. So 2-7 is within the range here of 212. So we're treating this shot differently now. Whoa, dear. When we go over to Jerry Cheevers' card, we're going to treat this shot differently because this is a shot in range. So basically, yeah, it's up to Cheevers. Cheevers will be tasked here to make a big save. And by the way, this is also pointed out on the chart as well, although I might have to get the updated chart for the updated cards. But it shows like what is a goal and what is not, and what isn't a goal. So let's just roll again here in Cheevers' card. And that is a 6-8. So we looked at the 6-8 on his card. It's 6-8, look at that. 6-8, he has saved it. That's a save and a face-off. So Jerry Cheevers has robbed Stan Mikita, made an outstanding save, and the Boston robbing of Chicago in the late 60s continues. We get a face-off here. We're 1:36 into it. With the 2-8 there, the 2-8 roll, that is center. Now, that position is technically vacant, being a 5-on-4. If it's to a vacant position, roll again. We have a 6-8 this time. The 6-8, so we've had that just prior. It is going to be left wing in the power play. Normally, I'm 5-on-5. That would go to Boston or to the visiting team, which in this case is Boston. But because it is a power play, it goes to Chicago's left wing. So Hull up to the 2-minute mark with a 1-7. Because Mikita won the draw to Bobby Hull. A 1-7. Okay. So I guess were he killing a penalty, that would come into effect. Would be 24 seconds of eaten or elapsed time. However, we have the @ symbol. So what we have to do is look at the team pass bonus and then compare it to the red die. Well, the red die reads 5, but Mikita's a 1 Angotti's a 4, so we're already at 5, and then Stapleton is a 6. And if you come over here to the chart, if you're symbol confused, have no fear. Shot of total pass, excluding the puck holder. I did exclude Bobby Hull there. He doesn't have a pass bonus anyway. But 1 plus 4 plus 1 equals 6, and we're comparing it to the red 5. And it does say here in this row here for the @ symbol, if it's greater than or equal to the reading on the red die. So what does that mean for us? That means that Bobby Hull has another shot here at the 2-minute mark on the power play. 5-5, it's not a great shot. We know it's not in his power play range. It goes over to Cheevers. So Cheevers here, we're looking to a 3-4 in his card. Chicago with the man advantage, peppering Boston early, but Cheevers up to the task. 3-4. Now this is our DG, so that would have been a goal had Hull fired in range. And the prior shot there, Mikita was in range. That would have been a goal. But because Hull was not in range, his roll was a 5-5 and something. This is going to go to Boston's right defenseman instead. So Ted Green here, final 24 seconds of power play time for the Chicago Blackhawks. For Green, I look to a 1-5. Now, the penalty technically hasn't expired yet in this sequence. Green is still shorthanded. The 1-5 is a 5, and so he is the right defenseman. The power play defense, however, it's a little different. Does it have the power play defense here? Yes, it does. Power play team defense, because that number 5, I'm comparing Green's reading of 5 there with the roll of 1-5 against the team defense for Chicago. It's left defense plus right defense plus 2, unless you have a forward playing on the point, which I don't in this case. So this adds up to 7. 7 and 2 are 9. So, 9 is much higher than 5. So Green has turned the puck over. Or just Chicago has the puck. Green, maybe he had it deep but was unable to get a shot off. Therein it's abstracted. Had to, keep the game and keep the flow going. So actually here, because this is a red 6 and Chicago's still up 5-4, what I normally do in this case, and again, this might be my own simplification, I'm going to look to the PPLW and give it to the power play left wing. So I would give it to, I guess, Bobby Hull again once more. And then that would resolve those 24 seconds. But allow me to double check something here. Okay, I stand corrected. I have a few editions of this book as well, so this one is kind of marked up, but it goes to the position marked after the penalty kill on the opposing team. So how I'm reading this, understanding this, interpreting this, I don't think it makes a big deal either way, and I could see actually Green and Hull being in direct opposition. But the penalty kill left defenseman, if I've read this correctly, because again, I'll reread it aloud here. It says, if the player is on the shorthanded team, which I almost said Red Green, that's another project, which Ted Green was. I should double check to see if there's any relation, actually. The interception goes to the position marked after the PK on the opposing team. So after the PK, but then on the opposing team. So let's give it to Stapleton. Anyway, we're going to get in the line change here anyway. So I think if Stapleton has the puck, it's time to throw on the Berenson-Walton-Warham line for the Chicago Blackhawks. And so with little bit of old and a little new, and I think Boston will counter as well with maybe not immediately, maybe Van Imp and Green slip off, and Oren Bond take to the ice. And let's let Stapleton, sometimes I'd like to game it like this, do mid-shift line changes. Again, because for this project here, it might be a little different because I don't have 5 other GMs. I'm going to be a little more at liberty to play the game maybe a little more as I would play it, if that makes any sense. So anyway, Stapleton here with the puck, 5-5. So again, I'm rolling and I'm looking. Actually, I see a 2 there right away. So Stapleton, again, in a stacked league, has basically automatically coughed it up there. But just to show so that I know, so Stapleton's the left defense. And so I have to compare Stapleton against the right defense rating, the right wing defense rating, and then the center defense rating adjusted, which would go to a 1 there. 1 or 2 equals 1. The center is adjusted up against the wings and against the defense, but not against the center. Makes a lot more sense than I just made it sound there. And once you begin playing it and you get used to it, I won't kid you, it takes a little while. It took me a little while, but it is pretty straightforward. Anyway, 4 and 5 and 1, so that's 6, because again, that 2 is adjusted to 1. That means that, well, the puck has been, Stapleton's given up the puck, and the red 5 there is the left defenseman, so Bobby Orr has possession now. Don't take another penalty. And so I think probably who needs to be switched out now. So if Orr has it, that will allow Hampson, Hickey, and Sanderson to come on. And we're already at 2:48, so let's see here. Sorry, I should have moved time there earlier. So roll and move. So Orr there, again, I'm getting used to this again. So Orr there with the 5-7. With the 5-7, that's going to be a shot with a possible rebound there with that reading of an R. So for the initial shot, that is a 4-8. That is not in range. We're back to 5 and 5. So we look here, the N, the normal shooting range there for Bobby Orr, and it's just not a shot in range. So it's yes. So now I have to roll to see whether or not there is a rebound, and for that, because it's not a shot in range, I'm just going to automatically look to the red die, and that there is right wing. It's 2 right wing. So Bill Hickey possibly is a rebound shot, but I have to re-roll and see. This is where you check the secondary defense rating here. Dale Rolfs is a 3. Bill Plager's is a 4. And so they have a combined clearing rating of 7. And sometimes that clearing rating can be knocked down if there's an S, if there's a shadow. Bobby Hull has one. Not a shadow, sorry, a screen. A shadow is like a puck dot, but this would be a screen. Boston doesn't have anyone screening, though. Screening, kind of like deflection, net front presence. I know it's not the same thing as deflecting the puck, but I think of it as similar as a like a net front presence, kind of a net front rating. I might be giving away a little something in one of my own game designs there with that, but so they don't have that, and so this is not adjusted to 6. This remains at 7, and I'm going to roll again here. And actually, I do roll all 4. I might have to check the 4th one. So I look, and this is a 2-8. There's a clearing chart right here. Clearing table, I guess you might call it, table chart. So, sorry, for 7, anything that's below a 4-7, so 4 would be in the blue die. And then, I mean, I know that's an 8, but actually, really, and I explained this in my video on dice ranges, you really need look no further actually than than this, because this 2 is lower than a 4, so this is automatically in range. So what that means is that Chicago has cleared the puck successfully, and I look to the red 1 on Bill Hickey's card. I see right defenseman. The puck goes to Bill Plager, and we play on here. So Bill Plager here, I look, there's a 3-8. So checking his card, checking the 3-8, that is just a 3 actually, so that's going to be turned over again. Because again, looking this time, because he's in the right side, I look to the left defenseman, left wing, and center, and I combine them. So Orr is a 4, Hampson is a 3, Sanderson would be adjusted to a 1, but 3 is far less, far fewer than 8. So I look to the red 4 here to see who has the puck. It's going to go to center, Derek Sanderson. Are we at 3:36? I think we might be. We're there now if we weren't before. So Sanderson is going to roll us up to the 4-minute mark, where I will roll and move right away this time. 2-6 on Sanderson's card. 2 and 6 is a shot on goal if home. That's the H. But Sanderson, he's not on the home team, so it's been turned over. I look to the red 6. I don't look to the PP or the PK because we're back to 5 and 5. 6 is the RD, so it's gone back to Bill Plager there for Chicago. However, at this point here, I'm in the gray. I'm going to look to make another line change. So Chicago, certainly they'll switch out their forwards. They'll go to their defensive line. And Boston, I guess maybe will look to do the same. Again, keeping everything very simple here, or trying to at least. So, yeah, we'll just let them all switch out there. And Bill Plager is going to roll again here. We will roll again on his card, where we get a 2-9. So we're looking at Plager here for a 2-9. And this is PPS. This is if this is on the power play, this, wanted to pause and get the chart. So if this were on the power play, this would be, and the S is for if if you're playing the offense into overdrive, there's like pressure checking and pressure offense, which I don't actually use. This is a pass if you're on the power play, but it's an interception if you are even strength or shorthanded. So, again, Plager had the puck, so he's turned it over to, or the puck has been turned over anyway, to right wing Ed Westfall there for Boston. And so I think Plager's going to head off, and Stapleton Murat will take to the ice once more. And it will be once more because I think I'm going to look to change teams after this. We get a 5-5 here on Westfall's card. So the 5-5 there for Westfall, it says D9. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 9 is greater than 7. Ed Westfall has a shot on goal. Westfall with the 2-11 on. I'm actually glad that I rolled the 11. So Westfall with a 2-11. It's not in range, but even if it were, most of the time you really basically, if the white dice add up to 11 or if they add up to 3, you check for a block shot. If there's one blocker, it's blocked in a 3. If there are 2 blockers, it's blocked in a 3 or 11. I've played probably well over 100. Have I played over 100 games? I've probably played 100 or more games of Hockey Bones. I've never been in a situation where I've checked for 3 or more blockers on the ice, shot blockers. So you're really just looking to the 1 or 2. Again, 80 to 90% of the time, once you get the hang of it, things are straightforward, and then you're going to have the oddball, rare stuff on occasion, but it's rare. So 11, but there is only 1 blocker. So the shot gets through anyway. So who has the puck? Well, we roll and we look on Bruce Gamble's card to see, and it's going to be 210 on his card. 210, lowercase, left wing. That means it goes back to Boston's left wing. They keep the pressure, and it's not an immediate rebound shot or anything like that, but we're going to 5-12 here, where I've rolled a 4-4. So we look to the 4-4 there on Bob Dillabau's card. I think it's Dillabau. 4-4 on Dillabau's card. So this is icing and possibly an injury there for Bob Dillabau. Although shorthanded, he would eat 24 seconds. But anyway, again, we're not shorthanded. He's not short. Boston isn't. So even strength there. And icing and or play stoppage. And we're going to check to see if the reason for that play stoppage is an injury. So what I have to do now, Chicago has 2 intimidation bars in the ice. Right here, right beneath the logo. It was a bit inconvenient for me there, actually, but fun problem to have and try to work around. So, and by the way, I said this in another video. I'm probably way overdue in saying this. You can see if I hold that in a certain light. That is a sticker that I've handmade and printed myself. I mean, I didn't draw it, but this is an image that I printed myself, and this is a homemade sticker. This is in no way affiliated with Hockey Bones. So the Bones, you get the card. They look like, and I normally would have a Hockey Bones card within reach. They would normally look a little more like this, right? So this is what they look like when you get the game. And I just added the logo custom myself. Separately, it's a sticker that was printed and peeled. Anyway, where was I? Talking about stickers, but I have to roll for an injury. So 112. Oh, shoot. That means he's hurt. Who was it again? Wait, who had the puck? It was Dillabau, wasn't it? Yeah, the 4-4 in the icing. Okay. So for this one here, there is a separate injury table, and mine is somewhere. Don't ask me where at this moment. So I'm just going to go to page 14 here for injuries, and again, I have a few. Some of them actually have pages numbered. This one, I don't know, doesn't. But OIP stands for Opponent Intimidation Points. And I did say that there were 2, and you have to subtract 1 from the blue die anyway, so 0 is below 2. Dillabau has been injured. 2 opponent intimidation points, and the white dice were a 12. Dillabau's gone for the frame. I'm not going to worry about it too much here, because again, this is just practice play anyway. If the puck doesn't go to the left wing, then you'll never know any better either way. But let's have a face-off. And so that is a 3-4 in the draw. Again, we've got our face-off chart here, where 3-4 shows right defense with this little A. And what this A means, we looked at the face-off rating. Neither Cullen nor Bruce McGregor here has a face-off bonus. Bruce McGregor, I should mention. So Chicago acquired one Don M and Don McKinney. They're considering McGregor's skating on thin ice here. Chicago might look to supplement or acquire another Don M there. That being veteran Don Marshall. Remains to be seen, but there's a rumor about that. Let's just say. I have all kinds of things going on in my head right now about how these guys performed in camp, and that's factoring into line combinations and things like that. But so 3-4 there, right defenseman, and it's home color, and neither has a face-off bonus, so no cancel-outs, as I sometimes like to say. Gilles Marat has the puck. Let's get us to 5:36. Marat with the 1-4. And it's a D7. If you can see it right there, I'm going to stop holding the cards up to the camera all the time. So D7 there for Marat. 7 is greater than 6. It's going to be Marat with the shot. 0, but there's a house rule that 1-1-2. Sorry, I always say that. No, you can't roll a 1 with 2D6. Okay, so it's 1. The house rule is 1, 2, 1 for a 0 goal scorer, that the shot is in range. And yes, I do. Let me see if I can roll that now. No, absolutely not. So the shot is obviously not in range. We looked at Cheevers, where I've rolled a 5-5. Cheevers 5-5 LD, so it's going to go to Ed Van Imp. And up to the 6-minute mark we go here. We have a 1-7. So looking at 1-7 on his card. PF3, so it's Van Imp's ability to pass up against the opposition forechecking. The opposition has 2 forecheckers, so Van Imp will successfully, with 3 being greater than 2. You can double check with this here game chart if you're not sure. Even strength, passive, it has to be greater, can't be equal to, it has to be greater than the forechecker arrows. That's these. They're more like crosses on the newer cards. But otherwise, it's an interception and a shot. That's another fun little thing. It's a little different than other passing tests. So, so Van Imp is able to pass the puck to who? We looked at this red 4 to find out who. And so it's to a right defenseman. So he's just passed it across to Ted Green. We're at 6 minutes, and so I think what I'm going to do here is... All right, so a couple of more... teams here, the Detroit Red Wings, the Montreal Canadiens. I could have just set it up right away, but I thought I would take them out of their sleeves and show them off again. So for Detroit, Delvecchio is playing with Frank Mahovlich and Mr. Hockey there on line 1, Gordie Howe. Eddie the Jet Joyal with Dick Duff and Bobby Rousseau will comprise the second line. So Joyal wedged between a couple of Montrealers looking to, get some get back against their former team. Andre Boudreau, who also played with Montreal in the 60s there for a little while. He's in Minnesota here, but he's a Red Wing. This comes in handy, actually. Ted Irvin. Yes, if Chris Jericho, his own son, can say his name, Ted Irvin, in an AEW wrestling ring, then that's how I'm going to say it. And Parise, so Jean Paul Parise, father of Zach. So, we'll get Detroit out. And then Montreal, their top line. And a veteran who had a really good camp, let's just say Dean Prentice. Dean Prentice will be playing with Jean Beliveau, Yvonne Cornway. So a couple of veterans there with the Road Runner. Doug Moens, Fred Stanfield, and John McKenzie. So Chicago and Boston all in the second line. I only showed the forwards for Detroit. Oops. Riel Lemieux, Terry Crisp, and Claude Provost comprise the third line for Montreal. The 10th and 11th forwards, look at that. Jacques Lemaire no longer in the top 9 forwards, even though he was protected. I'm assuming if this were real, like Guy Lafleur when they drafted the Flower sort of, for several seasons had limited ice time in Montreal's system. That could be Lemaire here. And Jimmy Roberts, who's basically the future Claude Provost. Mike McMahon Jr. will see some power play duty, but perhaps a little else. Rogie Vachon, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to snag Dryden in the draft for Montreal. And Maniago, who actually, at least in 63, had a number of starts early in the season with the Montreal Canadiens. So this is something that I found out since the draft, just going and looking again, always trying to find out a little more. Maniago does... I think I sensed it as a Habs fan. I'm like, yeah, and it's probably something that I knew at one time, but it's forgotten over time, that Maniago actually had played for Montreal once in the early mid-60s. So he's back. He's the backup for Montreal. Bob McCord and Al Arbor, so a couple of old guys there for rounding out Montreal's blue line there. And the taxi squad of Henri Richard, Serge Savard, and Terry Sawchuk. Heck of a taxi squad. Richard had a down year, though for face-offs, I don't know, you never know. Savard again, like Lemaire, I guess a little wet behind the ears relative to the rest of this veteran roster. So we'll throw them down. And actually, I'll wait until there's like a team defense reading, but I want to, sorry, for Detroit, the rest of their lineup. I'm going to go with Bergman and Bob Wojtowicz here for the top two. Gump Worsley's definitely the starter. Crozier's the backup. I decided Joe Watson and Howie Young would be my 3 and 4. That relegates Crashley to, actually to the taxi squad, where Goldsworthy and Wayne Rutledge also are. There's one forward, one defense, and one goalie in the taxi squad, as I'm calling it. And yes, these are the guys who could get limited ice time during a game. Center Pitt Martin, defense Brent Hughes, and wing Lowell McDonald. He can play either wing, so that's convenient for him. Plus, he's a 20-goal scorer that season. And he played with Detroit, actually. I mean, he's Los Angeles here, but he has played with the Red Wings before as well. So, anyway, let's go best on best here. Top on top with Mahovlich, Delvecchio, and Gordie Howe up against Prentice, Bellevaux, and Cornway. Yes, Dean Prentice, I know. He was a career. Actually, Detroit here. Played, with New York, played with Boston, a lot of other teams. And another thing, too, in researching this, I realized that a lot of these guys, I mean, there were exceptions. Bellevaux was a career Montrealer. But Dido LaPerriere in Montreal as well. A number of Montrealers, actually, the Roadrunner. And, of course, how not with Detroit because of the WHA thing. Delvecchio with Detroit career. But a number of these guys actually did, especially before the Players Union era, did play for several teams. Again, there was so few spots back in the original 6 era as well that I think just, roster space was limited and guys just were shuffled around, I guess. Shoveled and shuffled around. Anyway, so 6 minutes in, we didn't get a goal. Boston, I don't think, even got a shot. Maybe they got one, actually. Bruce Campbell, come to think of it, he rolled in his card once at least. But so we're going to say Detroit, Montreal, and face-off because what the heck? I can't remember where the puck. So 2-8 here in the draw. 2-8, it's going to be an orange C, which means visitor center there with possession. So that does mean Alex Delvecchio here has the puck. Up to 6:24 we go. Delvecchio, we're looking to a 6-7 on his card. 6-7 on his card. There's that at symbol. We had this earlier. So we're looking to a pass bonus that must be equal to or greater than 6. And we don't have it. On Detroit, Delvecchio the only one, and we have to exclude the puck holder. He's turned it over to 6 even strength, meaning that Ted Harris has the puck. So to 6:48, we go with a 111 here for Ted Harris. 111 on his card. Harris might be hurt. So we look here, Detroit, intimidation bars. They have 2 of them. So I'm going to roll these 3. Okay, that's a 6. So Harris is fine. We have a face-off, and he skates it off. And with the 6-7 on the draw, that is left defenseman there, visitor left defenseman because it is orange. So Bergman here with possession. Up to 7-12 we go with that roll of a 5-8 here for Gary Bergman. 5-8, it says P4. We've not had a reading like this yet. P4. So what I'm doing here, this is passing versus intimidation. Not passing versus forechecking, but passing versus intimidation. So Montreal actually has 0 intimidation bars on the ice. And of course, it's explained here as well, passing versus intimidation bars. So Bergman will be able to get the pass to the red die. The red die reading here, right defenseman. He's passed it across to Wojtowicz. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. And we have a 1-5 here, and we're up to 7:36. 1-5 on Wojtowicz's card. This is a pound key, a pound symbol, a sharp note. That means we have face-off here. It could be in the neutral zone, could be, it's abstracted to wherever, so we're going to get a face-off. And I don't have to drop the red. That's a habit. I just drop all 4 every single time. You really only need the 3, whereby you're looking blue for the column, blue 5, and then white 7 is orange RD there. So right defenseman, so Wojtowicz here with it off the draw. And up to the 8-minute mark, let's go. With that 1-6 here at the 8-minute mark, P3 there reading on the 1-6. And again, as we already established, Montreal doesn't have the intimidation on the ice right now. So he's going to pass it to right wing Gordie Howe and probably head off ice. Time to change lines. And so they probably wouldn't take their defense off right away. But we'll do this. And we're going to get some new blood here for this team. So Gordie Howe, up to 824 with a 1-8 on his card. Gordie Howe with the 1-8. Look at that, the P4. Montreal can't intimidate. So Howe, he's passed it back actually to, or no, wait. Yeah, Woodwich to Howe. Back to Howie Young. 848 now, 311 there on Howie Young's card. 311 shot on goal if home, turned over if visitor, turned over to 1. 1 on Howie Young's card, it's right wing. So it's going to go to John McKenzie. That's right, Montreal got some pie. Okay, 912 here. 1-6 here, and John McKenzie's card, 1-6 here. His first shift, his first play as a Montreal Canadian, even if this one won't count. And look at that, he's actually turned it over there with that P2. So I looked at the red 1. It's going to go back to Howie Young here for Detroit. Young prominent on this shift. We looked at the 2-7 on Young's card. 2-7, we're looking at a PF3. Do we have 3 forecheckers? We just have the 2. And because Stanfield, not a prominent forechecker here, unlike Mowens and McKenzie. So the pass to the red 1. So Howie Young's going to get it back up to, whoops, I should actually change. Let's say not Gordie Howe, but Bobby Rousseau. Wouldn't this be sweet? So he gets it to Bobby Rousseau. Bobby Rousseau here, 1-9. Bobby Rousseau of Bobby Rousseau Award fame. And this is a pass automatically here with that reading of a P. So looking to the 6 again. Whoops, that was a 6 before my finger nudged it and turned it over. Anyway, 6. Knocked it sideways. That's going to go to center. So Rousseau to the Jet, but we're looking at a line change here. So we'll put Montreal's defensive unit out here of Lemieux, Crisp, and Claude Provost. And I guess, well, did they even change? We'll get McCord Arbor out there now if they weren't out there already. Got to be a little more careful with that. Again, it's the kind of loosey-goosey. I've not played this in a little while. As I've said, I'm sure enough times already. Watson and Young will say they'll come off, and Bergman and Wojtowicz will come back on. And let's roll once here for Joyal since he has possession. So we're looking at 10-24 here, and Joyal with a 6-7. And 6-7 here, the @ symbol. This is where I got into a bit of controversy, actually, in one of my playoff games with the fictional 6. Because amid line change, I mean, who is on the ice, whose pass bonus are you counting, and whose are you not? Anyway, that's a 2, so that would be equal to or greater than anyway if Rousseau were still on. And let's say we're going to line 3. Actually, if we're going to line 3, it's turned over. Because I'm a Habs fan and because this counts for nothing, Joyal turns over the puck to 2 center Terry Crisp there for Montreal. And we're going up to 10:48 here, 10:48. And I'm looking to a 1-7 on Terry Crisp card. The 1-7, there's that @ symbol again. And look at this. They don't have the pass bonus either. So I look to the red 5 to see who the puck's going to. Left defenseman Gary Bergman here, up to 11-12, trying to speed up here a little bit with the 4-9 there. And Gary Bergman's card, the 4-9. And that is a 5. That's probably turned over because, again, Bergman is the left defenseman. I look to the center, but I'm going to adjust that to a 2. And again, this is explained as well over here. I adjust that to a 2, and then I've got 6-10, which is much greater than 5. So I'm looking to the red die reading there of a 3. It's turned over to Terry Crisp. Terry Crisp here at 11:36. I got to look to the 4-4 on his card. The 4-4 on his card says P2. I ignore that because he's not shorthanded. That plus sign is just for shorthanded play. Crisp is a good penalty killer. He has the star. He has some pluses, but that's a P2. They only have 1 intimidation bar, so the pass gets through. Crisp, he's going to pass it back to Al Arbor. And Al Arbor here up to 12 minutes. Arbor, I'm looking to the 4-7 here. 4-7. 4-7 is a 4. That's probably, again, turned over against a league this caliber where the defense 4-6, and then that would add up to 8. So Arbor's turned it over to 5 left defensemen. Unfortunately, I'm going to blow the whistle here because it's 12 minutes. And I'll just do this here without pausing. So I'm going to get the Rangers and the Maple Leafs, and we'll put away... Actually, I'll pause to put away these teams. Looks nice, doesn't it? So... I want to point out as well, now this one here, I think I would have to print this on A3 or B4 if I did it again. Larger paper size, I think, because I think the cards, yeah, I mean, I know the cards are bigger than that, actually. So, anyway, and I'm trying to not too much, but I can understand, I mean, I have my own way of doing these things, but I can understand the value in this because if you're the center and you have possession, and you roll what is known as just a straight N number score. Like, for instance, here, Rattel his number 4 here with the 3-4 roll. So let's say we got 3-4 on his card. The white dice add up to 4. I'm trying to reduce or minimize the odds as well. So 3-4 there on Rattel's card. I'm looking to these 3 and comparing the defense against that end score of 4 to see whether or not Rattel is able to, in this case, get it deep and get it on the net. If the left wing has the puck, or the left defenseman has the puck, so these 2 here on the left side, then you're looking at the right side, right, plus the center. So I can definitely see the value in this, even though this isn't how I do it personally. You know, if there's no wrong way to do this, and if you want to do it this way, I can completely understand the practicality of this. And were I relearning the game and just doing it, I had a larger tabletop and a larger copy of this. I don't know, I might do it differently. I like this because I have them in the pockets. I can change the lines more quickly. So it's just the way that I've sort of figured out how to do it over time. I guess the New York Rangers, their lineup, again, I just can't do this enough. Gilles Tremblay, they took him in the first round. It was hard to find a good left wing, but they got Tremblay. In hindsight, maybe they would have gone for a Doug Moens, but they got Tremblay. And Jean Rattel, Rod Gilbert, Bob Pulford, Phil Goyette, Wayne Connolly. And again, I know some of these weren't Rangers. Again, you can go back. I protected 7 players for each team, 7 core roster players, and then redrafted the league. Murray Oliver, Ralph Backstrom, and Leon. No, that's not how you pronounce his last name, but that's me sucking my teeth, wondering how. Rochefort. Ugh. Been meaning to gotta check on that one. Camille Henry, Terry Harper, and Floyd Smith consider these limited ice time. They'll probably see a few minutes a game. Henry probably on the power play. Harper maybe if they're getting roughed around a bit. And Floyd Smith, you can't go wrong with a 20-plus goal scorer there. Eddie Jackman, Harry Howell, Jim Nelson. Glenn Hall will be the backup. Actually, I got the 2 St. Louis backups here, and I noticed something that I noticed actually in putting the stickers in all of these, which I should announce proudly because what better time than in about an hour into a video. I remembered most, without having to double check, like I had the Delphi pulled up and looking at the rosters or whatever, but oftentimes when I pulled the card, I looked and I knew who had drafted that player already. So already in my mind, I'm imagining them playing for that team before I've even done any rolling out. Rod Sealing, they protected him. Again, Hall, they got from... I guess another thing I was going to say, too, is that I noticed that, like, Detroit seemed to take a lot of Minnesota. Montreal, it was St. Louis, I think. And there were certain original 6 teams that seemed to lean maybe a little more. Boston, it was Oakland, that seemed to maybe lean a little more heavily on one expansion team or another. That was unintentional. That's just how it worked out. Leo Boivin there. Leo Boivin. Toiled Boston. It was rumored Montreal wanted him and he didn't want to go to Montreal. Yes, that's just, my crazy head. So he's playing for New York. The veteran vying for a championship for them. New York, who finished 2nd overall in 67-68 during the regular season. Vic Hadfield is in the taxi squad, along with J.C. Tremblay and Seth Martin. So they will be, I guess, the visitor for this one. So I will arrange them like so. And just put them on the left side. So we'll do it like that. And we'll do 6 more minutes here of practice gameplay, see what situations arise. And we'll do the same thing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And, it's Toronto. Paul Henderson, Norm Ullman, Bob Nevin. They got Bob Nevin back. Like in real life, certain guys fall in the draft. I don't make any excuses. Nevin simply fell too far. Should have been drafted earlier than he was when I did my redraft. Oops. I'm human. Toronto's benefit. Toronto, who could have used it that season as well after the Cup win. Things weren't so good for them in 68 overall. Cowboy Bill Flett with Andy Bathgate and Ron Ellis. That's going to be line 2 for Toronto here. Where Dave Keon, Howie Menard, and Ken Schinkel for line 3. And then, not taxi squad, part-time players. Limited ice time, you have Ab McDonald, Noel Picard again, maybe if you need to send somebody in the ice to send a message to the opposition. And Eddie Shack there, of course, clear the track, right, when he comes out. So, and then Johnny Bauer, yes, he was 43, but man, any of Toronto's woes that year were not Johnny Bauer's fault. Again, Johnny Bauer, just to go back and watch him, I have a trophy named after him too for my replays for a reason. He was fantastic. Like, even as a Habs fan, just Johnny Bauer was excellent. Barclay Plager and Tim Horton. Horton still had it, pushing 40, still definitely had it. Burt Marshall and Bill White. And Bernie Perrant will, again, he's sort of, again, if this were real, they would bring him along at this point. Perrant, who did actually play some time in Toronto, but as Bauer's replacement, is what I'm trying to say here. Groomed or whatever as Bauer's replacement. Did I do the bottom? Yes, I did. So, and then yes, the taxi squad is the protected veteran Alan Stanley, protected veteran George Armstrong, and Pittsburgh netminder Les Binkley there for Toronto's third goaltender. So, do this and do this and take this away, and away we go. Let's have a face-off here at the 12-minute mark, and let's just try for some more play with hopefully some instructive moments. So, again, you just have to drop the 3 for a face-off, a 5-8 rolled out. Set the envelopes over here. Envelopes, and so who has it off the draw? Well, for the 5-8, we look here, it's going to be center. Nobody is on the power play, so I'm simply going to default to the orange, to the visitor center. Jean Rattel here with possession up to 12-24. Rattel, that is a 4-7 roll. Looking at Jean Rattel's card and the 4-7. 4-7 is going to be a shot with a possible rebound. Rattel will take the shot, shoot first, ask questions later. 6-11, that could be blocked. It is not blocked because there's only one blocker, not two. Again, if you get lost, it's right there. Right, one blocker, so only if the white dice add up to a 3. Anyway, and then I can get into the red die exception as well, which I don't think I explained the previous time. So it could be a screen, and then that would lower the blue die reading into the shooter's shooting range, or it can be blocked if it's 3 to 6, 3 or greater. So anyway, Rattel there, that is definitely not in range. So I'm just going to look to that red 3 there for Bauer, because it's not in range. Right, and so I'm not going to re-roll, and I'm not going to waste a roll, even if one might. So right wing, it's going to go to Rod Gilbert, but they can clear on a 7, can Toronto. There's no one who can screen in the net front to adjust that, so I'm going to roll this against a 7. Ooh, 4-9, this could be close. Actually, 4-9, not in range. So Rod Gilbert has a rebound shot. And after all that good that I said about Bauer, no, Bauer's not going to surrender a goal there against 2-7. So rolling on Bauer's card now. And again, we're getting a lot of action here. 24 seconds between Toronto and New York. So looking at Bauer's card here in a 4-10. 4-10, that goes to the opposition center. So it is the Rangers with possession for the next time segment or sequence. Up to 12:48, Jean Rattel. We're looking to the 5-5 here for Jean Rattel. And 5-5 D9. So guess what? D9 means that the defense are denied, and Rattel will have another shot on goal. Rattel this time with the 3-8. His normal range, because we're 5-5, is 2-11. So it's not in range. We go to Johnny Bauer's card again, this time with a 3-3. And that's going to be opposition left defenseman. So Harry Howell now with possession. Up to 13-12. Howell, I look to 3-7. 3-7 for Harry Howell, passing against forechecking. 3 forecheckers. He's turned it over to red 1. 1 on Howell's card, left wing. Toronto, Paul Henderson has possession. Toronto's Paul Henderson. 6-7 for Paul Henderson. At symbol. So they have their pass bonus says to add up to 6, and I have to exclude Henderson's +1. So I've got 1, 2, I don't have enough. So it's turned over 6. Red 6, right defenseman. So Jim Nilsson now with possession. Whoops. Up to the 14-minute mark with a 6-10 on Nilsson's card, and 6-10 is a 9. This is going to be close. Normally when I'm playing on my own, again, I'm not on camera or anything like that, I look. If it's double digits, it's probably going through, and if it's under 5, it's probably not. It's the in-between that you have to really look more closely. Just observation. 4 plus 1 plus 1, because that's adjusted down. So it does mean that Nilsson is going to be able to put it on net. Nilsson with a 6-2, that's just not anything. Bauer with a 1-3. Bauer with the 1-3, so it's the right wing Rod Gilbert. Let's get in a line change for everybody, though. We'll assume that for convenience sake that that there was a loose puck, and so they had to exit the zone in order to collect the rebound. But it is Gilbert here with it. We'll get to 14-24, and Gilbert there with the 2-6 on his card. 2-6 shot on goal if home, and turned over if not. So it's going to go to 3. Great variety in this game. 3, Bill Flett now, the Cowboy, up to 14-48. Gilbert heads off, and 6-6 here for Cowboy Bill. And he's taking a penalty, but is he the only one? X marks the spot. So let's roll again. We just need the 3. 5 is odd. It's not a 1 or a 2, so it's not delayed. Odd, and then we're looking to the 5 and the 2 added together for 7. Odd 7, it's an A, so we're getting a different kind of penalty here. You can look at the A. The A says co-minor if you want to know who's going to the box with Bill Flett. We're going to roll these 3, and we're going to check retaliation. So that's a 1-2. Retaliation is a 5. So I read that, I interpret that to mean the highest minor rating in the opposition. So Bill Flett, and we're going to look at the minor. You can find it here on their card. So you have Boyven there with a minor rating of 4, Sealing with a 5, and I'm looking at a 1-0-4. So it's going to be Bill Flett and Rod Sealing each to the box for a pair. I'm just going to continue playing 5-on-5 for simplicity's sake, but that's what you would do. Well, I should probably play 4-on-4. I mean, shouldn't I? I probably should. All right, let's tell you what. Let's change everyone out here a little early. We'll get Backstrom, Oliver, and Leon on ice. And it's not the first time either that I've come on camera not knowing how to say his name. And then Keon, Howie Menard, and Ken Schinkel. And yeah, we'll leave Burt Marshall and Bill White out there. All right, so, and we'll assume that Keon and Backstrom are not on the ice for convenience sake. The center position is vacant, let's say. We'll do this to indicate that. And we'll get a face-off because it was not delayed. I didn't have to drop all 4, but I got a 2-8. I did anyway, and I got a 2-8. Visitor center, vacant, do it again. 111 this time. 111 center. Checking for the double-A bonus. Keon, oh wait, Keon's not taking the draw. That's right. So it's just going to go to the home team. Oh no, wait, home center. Whoops. Yes, you can house rule your way out of this. I'm considering doing that. 110. 110 left wing. So left wing. Home. Let's give it to Howie Menard. Howie Menard here at 15-12, playing here 4-on-4 with the 5-5. 4-on-4, I think, again, barring exceptions, is going to be pretty similar to 5-on-5. D9 here, so I look here again, that adds up to 7. Howie Menard with a shot on goal. Menard with a 6-6, that will not be in range. To Jacquemin we go. Jacquemin, I looked at the 6-5 on his card. 6-5, again, it's uppercase, it's LD. So that means, in this case, Harry Howell with possession. Up to 15:36 here with a 4-8. I didn't mark penalty time. It's down here somewhere. Okay, 4-8 there for Harry Howell. So 4-8, we're looking at a D6, and we've got a, whoops, that got covered up a little bit. Bill White and Burt Marshall are just too strong. Looked at the 3 on Harry Howell's card. The puck is going to Burt Marshall at the 16-minute mark here with a 5-7. 5-7 reading, PF3. I guess technically only 2 forecheckers. And again, if you want to know if there are exceptions, although we are still even strength. So yeah, just the 2 forecheckers. So he's going to be able to pass it. And that to 2-8-5. There could be a rare exception here that I'm overlooking, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. So what was I looking at? Just blanked out there. Oh, Burt Marshall. Wait, Yes, 5-7 Burt Marshall's going to Harry Howell, wrong left defenseman. So pass to 5, it's just going to go across to Bill White. We would get a line change in there anyway, and I think just for the sake of playing around, let's assume that we're back at 5 and 5, and let's just leave on who we have on, actually. So Bill White here at 16-24, White with a 1-3. I don't know why I did that. White with a 1-3, H7. Now, it could be a shot on goal if home, but I still, H2 to H9, it still has to pass the team defense. He's the right defense. I'm looking to the left wing, center, and left defenseman with a 7. I've got a 3, a 5, and that's adjusted to a 2, a 7, equal to or greater than. Although the team defense for, what am I trying to say here? For 4-on-4, I would add up to 4. So let's say that Backstrom was not on ice. 2, 4, 7, 11. 11 would be adjusted to 6, and the H7 would mean that Bill White has a shot on goal. So let's just pretend, let's just Men in Black everyone's memory and pretend that we're still playing 4-on-4 here. Now Bill White has a shot on goal because, again, that 1-3 reading is H7, and here 4, 7, 11, and 4-on-4 play, that is adjusted to a 6. So let's have at it. Bill White. Oh, look at that too. Bill White 1-9. It's almost like I wanted to get him a goal. Actually, this is perfectly in range. Check this out. 1-9-3. Bill White 1-9-3. Eddie Jacquemin here is tasked to make a big save. A save and a shot in range. Jacquemin, I got to look to the 6-5. Oh, and he's done it. Jacquemin, and it's going to go back to Harry Howell again. So Jacquemin, kick save and a beauty. And yeah, let's play, I guess, a few more rolls here. I want to go back to 5 and 5. Okay, 2-8. I was trying to get Toronto a goal there. 2-8. You know what? Let's put these defense on here. Sealing with the 2-8. Don't get another penalty. 2-8 and a 5. What was Howell? 2-8. 2-8 and a 6. Very similar in that case. So that's going to be turned over to. And again, sometimes too, like I see a 5 or a 6 and I glance and I already know those add up to 10ish. I don't need to add those up exact. I know it's going to be, if you look and you know right away, hey, that's greater than, that's less than. Stop doing the math, play on. So 5, the right defenseman there, Bill White. We're at 1648 at least, up to 1712. Bill White with the 111 and the D4. Again, like, stop adding. You know, that's already a 4, so that's just going to go. I'm looking immediately here. Left wing Murray Oliver here up to 1736. I'll do another roll and then I'll stop. So 611 here for Murray Oliver. Though I do want to keep playing. 611 in the P4. How much intimidation do they have? 0 means not enough, so I looked at that. Red 3 again. Oliver across to Leon. Up to the 18-minute mark there with the 2-4 for him. So 2-4 for Leon. 2-4 for Leon. H9. So look at the team. Oh, no, wait. He's not at home. He's not at home. So that means that it's going to be turned over. And again, another red 3. So this time it's going to be Ken Schinkel there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I see this is over 70 minutes long now. I think this is enough. Just wanted to get back into this. I wanted to show the cards. I know I've shown them numerous times, but this is the first time I've shown these cards with all of them having stickers on them. So the only other thing that I think I need to do now, I would like to have, like I would like it to be able to go Jacquemin and then Jacquemin again here between the defense. If Jacquemin is the goalie. I mean, if it's Hall, then Hall and Hall, of course. I want to do that. I want to print just, it's going to be three or four pages that I would have to print to get the goalies set again for just 3 or 4 PDF pages for these. And then basically I'm ready to go. And I know this has taken a little while since the draft, but I don't like to have too many projects ongoing all at once. So there was a dilemma there. I just, I'd already kept that under wraps for too long, and I just, I had to do the draft, wanted to do the draft, but also wanted to just clear the schedule with at least one other project to allow myself some time to get going on this here, which will be a journey, minimum 3 seasons, and possibly even 53 or greater by the time that all is said and done. One other thing, I've not used these D12. Let's say that we had a goal scored here, which unfortunately we did not. You could use any 2-colored dice. What I do, and there's a chart here for determining exact time. This is my little house rule for it. So this is a 311. What I do here, if this is a 1 to 6, I'm looking from 0 to 12. No, wait, from 1 to 12. How do I do this again? My own thing that I made up. If this is a 1 to 6, then I'm looking at this number from 0 to 12. So in this case here, 11 seconds. So let's say that, I don't know, let's say that a goal was scored here and your marker is here. What I would do instead is add 11 seconds to the previous sequence. So instead of saying the goal was scored at 18 minutes, I'd say it was scored at 17:47 in this case. If we do another roll, okay, so this is 8. Oh, and it's 11 again. Great. So now instead of 11, it's going to be 23 because this is from 7 to 12. So now it's at 17:59. I like it. It's one fewer die. I don't know, for whatever reason, it's a little easier for me. Just like that for this, like for, you might prefer to lay out the cards stack method and do it like this. I've got my own way of doing it. So I guess I've not really thought too much about what title I'm going to give to this mess of a video, but how I play Hockey Bones is, part of it, would be kind of, fitting, I guess, included in the title. Anyway, in case I didn't mention it already, I was a little tired for this one as well, but it had been about a week and it was just time, I'm sitting there thinking about it and I was like, I want to show the cards and then I want to do some slow play because it's been a little while since I've done that. And that benefits me too. Like that's, I sort of felt, again, once I'd rolled 5 or 10 minutes, I sort of felt, I don't know, the wheels were spinning again. The gears were shifting. Things were aligning. Things were just, again, I'm getting myself back into Hockey Bones, playing shape for this endeavor. So anyway, I know this is a really long video. Look, and this won't necessarily be a video for everyone. If you're not a player of Hockey Bones or anything like that, but it's just something that, hey, I just really wanted to do it, and this is something that I do because I really want to do it. With that said, would I do this if no one else ever watched or subscribed or anything like that? Probably, maybe not. But while I don't do it for that reason, I will say that, yeah, any feedback that I receive is, it feels good. It feels good to go into the comments and read something nice and see that someone else has subbed and, see a few thumbs up here and there and all that. I feel like it shouldn't be about that, but at the same time, if I'm being honest, it does feel good. So anytime, any consideration, anything nice like that that you for whatever, give is, again, it's not expected, but it is definitely appreciated. And so thank you. I'm grateful for all that I've received in that way thus far. And if you have any questions about Hockey Bones, this is my favorite game on the planet, in the universe. If I can't answer the question because it's my favorite game, I'm not claiming to be the Hockey Bones expert. There are people who know the game even better than I do, who have played it longer than I have. I've really only played the game, I guess, now for just over a year, actually, a year and a couple of months. And so there are other, that you can go to the PT Games forum and there are people there that you can bring questions to. I bring questions to them sometimes. I almost feel like asking about the vacant position in the face-off, the thing that came up earlier, but honestly, if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. It's convenient. So, all right. Yes, Hockey Bones, Hockey Bones, Hockey Bones. Welcome back to Hockey Bones. And anyway, cheers, thanks, and bye for now. Good night.